Hello, everybody. It's map time. It's mapping time. Yeah. And I think I actually know where. Ooh, I accidentally placed down a big red dot. But I think I actually know where I want to start. South Africa. They've been dormant for quite a while. I don't know how long it's been. I'd say at maximum 10 episodes, at minimum 5, because I don't remember like last time they did anything. I think it was like a few episodes before Tanzania split up, so that's like a rough time frame. But they're going to be on the move again, as they are the strongest African nation. And if we went on to the rankings, they would probably be like 15th in the world. In like, yeah, and that's pretty good for an African nation. Because Africa is, in this series, the least developed continent. Second is Asia. Third is South America, then North America, and obviously Europe's going to be the most developed. And like they don't know about Oceania or Australia or Antarctica yet, so I'm not going to count those. So yeah, we see them continuing to expand, eventually getting up to here, and we see a defense thing get made. And let me just get this. You know, I'm just going to take the whole thing. Come with me. Yeah, we see them and this country make a defense treaty. Not very important, but like, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Second thing we see is the English are Englishing once more. Great. They just like take all of this. They don't invade into the Nation of Hope though, because like they're pretty decent and they don't really care about Siberia. And I'm just gonna like slightly change the border between the English and the Franco-Iberians because I don't really like how it looks. That's workable. Speaking of the Franco-Iberians, they're also going to do some expanding into this area. They meet up with this Aztec nation, and no one really likes the Aztec nation. Oh, okay. Yeah, no one, like, even the Floridians don't care. Like, just nobody even, like, no one in this series actually likes them. So that's why this is happening. Also, I'm just going to slightly change Florida's color because it's a bit bad. It, like, matches very well with the Franco-Iberians. That's doable. Speaking of the Floridians, bang. Yep, they're dead. And I feel like I can probably do the peace treaty before I don't think I have to like cut off. So yeah, I'm just gonna do it before I cut off because I feel like I can probably do the peace treaty in time because it's going to be very simple peace treaty with not many with the yeah, they're not going to exist after this peace treaty as you can PC T. Yeah. And obviously just bang. Yep. And we see our first North American nation actually fall. Well, second North American nation fall, because don't forget about Nicaragua a few episodes ago. They are no longer on the map. Anyways, we see a country land in North America, but it's not going to be the country that you think it's going to be. And why is that? They're a new country. And they're not directly landing in America, but they are landing in an area where the US owns. The country is India. Yeah, don't ask how India can do colonization. I don't know. But they can. I'd say out of everyone, they're probably the 16th strongest, just slightly behind South Africa. Anyways, we see them make a naval landing over here in Baja, California, and take all of it. And now we have 3 countries in North America. How about we change that? Bang. Yep, these guys are here now. Also, they take the Galapagos. That is the outline. Also, they take the Galapagos. And we see like a treaty get made like in this like Mexican area. Or just like the rest of Mexico. And it will look something like this. Where the Franco-Iberians get this, Benelux this, and India gets this. And this section, they just give it to this pink country, because like, why not? They don't like how they got bullied over here. Also, did more promises. As you can see by Germany being done, basically all of the Middle East being done. India's done. Made you a happy little star. Also the Nation of Hope, and this like lavender country is done. Also Finland and Norway, Ukraine. Basically like every country like has provinces except like Tanzania, South Africa. I haven't even touched over here yet. I'm scared to do that. But yeah, and North America is nearly fully colonized. I just realized that. So how about we finish it? India begins pushing up this way, eventually reaching like this little area, and begin colonizing further. And they begin slowly going up the coast. And eventually they take something that looks like roughly like this. No, that. And then we sort of just see like a scramble for North America happen, where we just see like every country just like try and get as much land as they can. You see the English get that, Franco-Iberians get this, Benelux gets this, and India just goes yoink. I'm just gonna just slightly change this because I don't really like how it looks. Uh, I'm gonna color this and see how it looks. So they get this. I should probably they get this, this, and this, as well as this, and this. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, yeah, that looks a lot better. I like how that looks. So yeah, North America is essentially all done except for Greenland and like these few Canadian islands. So let's just finish that because I don't want a little bit of white up here. That looks weird. And just so it's easier, bang. Now I know that there's no unknown over here. Now I know that I know everything. Anyways, we see Norway and Scotland split up Greenland in a way that looks roughly like this, with Scotland gaining these islands and the English gaining these ones. So once again, the English have control over Canada. Dear God, why is that? Like, if I, what the? How did I get it to be green? That was cool. I liked that color. But yeah, North America is all done. Africa's getting close to being done. Europe is, well, what I would consider Europe is like 90% done. Still a lot of Asia though. So how about we fill out more of Asia? Because there's a country that I want to do stuff with that hasn't done anything in a while. Persia. No, Caspia. They begin expanding out. Also, I just want to just check. Um, how do I do this? I don't know how to do it. Oh, wait, spacing. That's how I do it. Now I'm just gonna turn this down a bit, and it should be working now, so you should see more. Ooh, yeah, that's clean. Yeah, Persia's gonna be doing something. No, Caspia, sorry, because they have like a similar one to Persia from Project Overload. Anyways, we see them beginning to expand, and eventually they expand out to here, if I can color it. Okay. And we also see Russia do some expanding. Well, Caucasia, because now there's Russia and Russia, so I don't actually know what to do. So we see like Blue Russia beginning to expand, eventually reaching over to Estonian Russia. Also, there's a lot of countries that have just done like jack shit in this series. Legasp, Annie said a cuss. Yeah, good for me. Anyways, yeah, we also see another country who has done jack shit in this series expand, and that country is Taiwan. They take this northern, like, Philippine island, and that's it. Like, that's literally it. But speaking of this general area, it's episode, like, what episode is this? I genuinely do not know, like, whether, well, I know it's either 24 or 25. I don't know what one it is, though. So how about we just check that now? Yeah, it's episode 24. It should have been done. So we see a lot of expansion, but when they get to that outback, they're like, so they stop. And they instead go along the coast. They reach Tanzania and they're like, what the fuck? Anyways, they also go along the coast and they discover New Zealand, discover how many sheep there are. They're very happy. They like sheep. And eventually, yada yada yada. I'm too lazy to do this, so um, can I? This should work. Yep, they know about every island now. Don't ask how, but like they like still don't know about the Himalayas. So how about we change that? Bing, boom, boom. Yeah. Anyways, how about we do some good old sexy colonizing? I don't think I'm ever gonna say that ever again. I don't think I want to say that ever again. See the Benelux begin to colonize some of these islands. Ye. And we see the Indians begin to do some colonization. Wow, we. Also, I just realized it's kind of like a trend in my series is to have India do colonization. They begin going down this coast, and eventually they just like take all of like Sumatra, I think it is. I'm not actually sure what the name of it is. I think it might be Sumatra though. Anyways, we see a Vietnamese country that formed. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna slightly change that color just to be a bit bluer. I like the color blue. Never mind, that looks ugly. Okay, back to the dark gold. Uh, ta-da-da-da. Wait, I'm gonna turn down tolerance and just. No, I said turn down tolerance. Yeah, that's better. Anyways, bang, back, boomily, bing, bing. Wait, I can turn back. I can turn tolerance back up. Nice. Bang. Anyways, we see some more countries getting on the colonization of Oceania, and that's gonna be. God damn it! It's the English. Everybody run. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. Hide your 92-year-old grandma. Yeah, the English are here and they are horrifying. And another country is going to do something, and I bet you didn't actually know it was going to be this country. It's Taiwan. They went from doing absolutely nothing to colonizing essentially all of the Philippines. Anyways, speaking of colonization, bang. Also, I'm going to make a new layer. And what is that layer? Well, that layer. Oh my god, my brush size is 69. How did I only just notice that? Now it's 2. That layer is going to be the canal layer. Why is that going to be the canal layer? Because we need some canals. First one's going to be right here. So that's number 1. Second one, right here. In case you don't want to go, or, and instead you just want to go, I don't even, and instead you just want to go, I was using recolor, and instead you want to go, yeah, so that's why there's one there. Then we have the Suez. So yeah, 3 canals. Am I gonna forget about this layer? Hopefully not, because this might actually be a very influential layer. Like, who controls the canal is the strongest in the world. Where's the third one again? I forgot. Oh, yeah, it's up here. And using that canal, using the Suez Canal to be specific, we see the Franco-Iberians go into these waters and then go, and eventually they like are able to fund their colony. So their colony can land in Borneo. I think that's the island's name. Anyways, Borneo eventually gets fully claimed. Oh my god, this is just the what if India made an empire video all over again. Anyways, on that topic, India invades this. I'm kidding. They do, however, begin invading into these islands, eventually taking all of. Why is there a border here? How did I not notice that? I'm so surprised that I've never noticed that. Like, how? I have a keen eye for these things. How have I not noticed it? Anyways, it's done. I fixed it. Anyways, one last event before I finish this video. Tanzania is falling apart even more. After the events of a few episodes ago where they fell apart, that like severely just it broke the government essentially. Also, I just want to see, is the ideology map up to date? No, it is not. Because I need to shift you over here. Does India have an ideology? Yes, they do. They're a monarchy. This country doesn't. Why don't you have one? Um, you know, because they were set up by these guys, they can just have a, they can just have a democracy. And because it was set up by them, bam. Yeah. Is there any countries that? Oh my God, I haven't even thought about over here. Bang. No, not you. I clicked on the wrong thing. Also, this country goes from being a flawed democracy to, I bet you don't know what they're gonna become. They're gonna be military dictatorship. I'm joking. They, my friend, they are gonna be a full democracy. Maybe just because like I want to like add a few more ideologies to this area. Also, the Senate doesn't go very well in this country over here. Bang. The Soviet Union has more influence. I'm sorry if that offended anyone. Anyways, I'm now going to end this video here. I forgot why I had the rankings up. Anyways, yeah. Also, as you guys know, I always have my Discord server in the description. And I'm actually going to be like just doing a stupid thing where like you can just like design like flags for certain countries, like one for the Franco-Iberians, one for like the Romans, one for the occupied French, very small, one for like this Scottish country, one for Ireland, or I think that's how you say it. So yeah, if you want to like join that, then join the server, I guess. And if you don't want to do that, then don't join the server. Or still do, I don't know. Uh, bye.